Now in this lecture, we are going to implement the deposit token function, and it's fairly straightforward if you have a look at the exchange contract and you look at the deposit token function here. It takes a symbol name and an amount, and then it will go to the symbols name ERC20 interface, so the token contract, and it will try to transfer from your token contract's balance to the exchange balance. And if this is working, then it will credit the tokens to your balance on the exchange, and it will emit an event. And so what we have to do is we get the exchange instance and we call deposit token with the right symbol name and the amount. And we are going to implement this into the deposit token function here in our app.js. And what we're going to do is we get those input fields values when the button is clicked. So let me guide you through this step by step. We get the input amount deposit token and input name deposit token, so the symbol name. Then we get the exchange contract, the instance, and we call deposit token. And we give it a little bit more than the standard gas because it's really hard or sometimes wrong to have it calculate the gas automatically. And so we give it kind of a 4.5 million gas here and give it the name of the token and the amount. And if everything is going right, then we can output the transaction result on the console. Just for debugging, normally we just have to refresh the balance in the exchange and we're done. Now let's see how this is working. I've already opened, or I still have actually my test RPC open with my Webpack server. And if I go back, I can go and get my exchange address, and I will give my exchange address the allowance to use 50 tokens in my name. And now I can go back and I can deposit my fixed tokens 50. Now let's see if this is working. Now on the test RPC, it won't let me submit so much gas, but on any private network, if configured correctly, or on the live net, obviously you can submit so many gas. Point is, I had to change the gas to 2.1 million in order to work with the test RPC, and I have my 50 fixed tokens in my exchange. So again, let me summarize what I just did. I cannot directly call deposit token and just get my tokens out of my token contract. In my token contract, I have around 1 million token, let's say, and I cannot send the tokens to the exchange because the exchange cannot handle this in a sense that if the tokens arrive and there's no event fired towards the exchange. Because what happens with the send token, going back, then you will see that it will just change the balance inside the token contract from one address to another address, so that the exchange is not involved here. Now we have to make sure that our exchange knows what's going on, and this is the crucial part. First, we approve that the exchange can use a certain amount of tokens in our name, and in our name means in this account's name. And then we call the deposit token, and the deposit token will call the exchange and say, hey, I want to transfer from this account to my own account a certain amount, this amount that we entered here. And if we have given the exchange the allowance to do so in our name, then the exchange can transfer it. And if that happened, and if the exchange can transfer the amount, it will credit the amount of tokens inside the exchange contract to our address. Now, I know that this might sound a little bit complicated. Some of you definitely know how this is working. If you don't know immediately how this is working, try to play around a little bit, maybe write it down what's happening. And if you still have any questions, just head over to the course Q&A. I make sure that all the questions are answered there. Don't worry, and we'll get that sorted out together.